The secret here is not to obsess too much on little details. You will always be behind the curve if you devote too much time on pointless chores. Sales training teaches us what is significant and small time. Considering possibilities is little in terms of timing. Making lists of prospects involves minor time. Keeping records on prospects requires minor time. Visiting prospects is minor time. Evaluating prospects after you've met with them is minor time. All of that is only small time. The main moment now is when you are with the prospect. The true value resides in this regard. Looking at your week, you will see that you spend 90% of your time on the small chores and very little time on the important one facing the possibility. How many hours are you actually spending in the presence of the prospect during your sales week? Not on the little chores. The moment you are in front of the prospect counts as the real time. Let us now address personal growth towards success in the market. Success is something you attract by becoming an appealing person. What makes you attractive in the marketplace? What gives you the best chance to land the best job, make the best money, seize the best opportunities, work with the best people, and be accepted at the finest tables for learning and enterprise? How do you get there? There are a few things to bear in mind, and I'll cover them immediately. The first thing I want to highlight is acceptable and undesirable behavior. What we've learned and the talents we've developed directly affect us in the marketplace. If you want to work in a specific field, such as medical or law, you must go to the correct school. But there's something else that influences everyone in the marketplace behavior. It's not simply your talents, education, or knowledge. It's how you conduct. Key point, the attributes that make you a clearly excellent or acceptable person or an unacceptable one matter enormously. We all need to research our marketplace and grasp what's acceptable and undesirable. I'll offer a few apparent points to get you started, and then you can ponder on the rest. Another crucial issue is time management. Don't mix mobility with achievement. It's easy to be fooled into thinking that being busy means progress. A guy returns home fatigued at the end of the day and says, "I've been going non-stop." The question is, doing what? Some folks are busy all day, but aren't actually making progress. They're just traveling in circles. So, don't confuse motion with actual progress. Here's something crucial to remember. When you're in the marketplace, you must be ultra conservative in your actions. Your actions will shape your future, your paycheck, and the groups you can enter or be excluded from. I'll give you some instances to illustrate. First, your language. The way you communicate in the business might have a huge impact on your compensation. In some locations, it may not matter much whether you use terrible language, utter inappropriate jokes, or cuss all day. If you're in a crowd where that's the norm, it's no big thing. But if you wish to work in a new field or attract a different type of client, you may need to reassess your language. Here's a tip: be ultra conservative with your wording in the marketplace. If you don't, you may alienate potential clients or customers who might otherwise eagerly embrace you and your service. Some people might argue, "I'll speak however I want," and that's their option. But in certain areas of business, employing incorrect language will cost you. In other markets, it might cost you big dollars. A year might produce the $250,000 easily, but the other $150 evaporates due to poor language in the marketplace. Some people find it inappropriate. Here's another example from sales. We learn not to mistake civility for consent. Just because someone is courteous and nods doesn't indicate they're ready to buy. They may just be being polite. You can't confuse civility with permission. Now, here's a key lesson I had to master years ago: concentration. I recall being in the shower, attempting to compose a letter, and it morphed into something bizarre. Here's what I figured out. Save the work for the office. Don't try to work on the way there. Enjoy the journey and the shower. Once you're at work, focus on your tasks. It makes a tremendous difference. Another essential lesson, learn to say no. In today's social world, it's simple to say yes to everything, striving to be the pleasant person, but you end yourself overburdened. You'll find yourself making calls to back out of things you should have declined in the first place. Instead, try this. I don't think so, but if that changes, I'll let you know. It's a simple method to prevent overcommitting. My friend Ron Reynolds constantly advises, don't let your mouth overload your back. Great advice. Let's talk about clothing codes. Dress requirements can differ widely. For instance, in San Francisco, you wouldn't dress the same way you would in West Palm Beach on a business day. If you dressed like you're in West Palm Beach, people would treat you casually. So, dress correctly for your company, location, and neighborhood. Understand what's acceptable in your marketplace. Keep it conservative and appropriate for the place you are. Here's a key one: time management. When you work, work. When you play, play. Don't mix the two. I used to take my family to the beach while bringing my briefcase, thinking about business the whole time. I'd think I should be at the office. Meanwhile, my family was irritated because I was distracted. When I was at the workplace, I was thinking of the beach. So, things weren't going well at either place. The trick is to be present in whatever you're doing. At the beach, enjoy the beach. At the office, focus on work. Don't mix the two. One of the most crucial lessons: don't play at work. Work is too serious. You don't want the reputation of being the office joker. Yes, there's time for anecdotes and humor, but you need to take work seriously. You're spending a portion of your life into your profession. It's called serious business. It's not about being grim or unhappy, but serious. Don't horse around at the office. Save that for the beach or a bar. At work, take it with the seriousness it deserves because it's shaping your future. Here's another crucial phrase: all labor is good. You may not like your job, but if it's the stepping stone to where you want to go, you need to appreciate it. You don't have to be passionate about every profession, but you should be passionate about success in all areas of your life. No work is menial. Every task is noble. It's about training, earning, and contributing to society. Next, take a moment to study yourself. If you have vulnerabilities that appear hard to change, here's the key: get them covered. I used to swear myself I'd keep the books. After a while, I realized I wasn't good at it, so I hired an accountant for just $50 or $60 extra a month. To keep the books, I decided, no, I'll save the $50. You wouldn't believe how much productivity I missed by attempting to save that $50. The point is, sometimes you can stay where you are, but make sure you're covered. It's not a bad idea to take a piece of paper one day and scribble down your code of conduct, what you expect from yourself. There will be things you will do and things you won't do. Break down the question, what do I want to be known for? And write it down. That's not a bad list to establish as we build our reputation day by day, week by week, month by month. One opportunity leads to the next. And those opportunities depend on what we're recognized for. These things may not always show up on your CV. You've been to school, gained new skills, worked for firms, and maybe had 9 years of experience, but beyond that, it's vital, especially for your own mental well-being, to identify what you want to be recognized for next. Beware of communication systems, especially the telephone and systems of communication at home. Here's one of the best advice I can offer for the weekend. Let all communication systems assist you, but don't let them intrude. When it's time to have supper with your family, turn off everything except the systems that can silently take messages. Don't let the phone ring. Don't allow anyone intrude through the door. the phone, or any other technology during dinner. Even the President of the United States shouldn't be able to reach you if you develop a reputation like this. Father, mother, when we have supper or spend time with our family, nothing comes in. So, don't allow those intelligent devices keep intruding. You've got to build a sanctuary where nothing disturbs you for that period. That's fantastic advice, right? First, the ability to absorb one of the toughest problems when staying here for 3 full days. For some of you, it could be tough to take it all in, but I'm asking you to do so. Here's a term I use in another seminar. Pay attention and strive to absorb every word, every concept. It's easy to let your mind wander and not truly focus, but if you dive in, these days may be really important. Absorb the mood, the drama of the moment, the spirit of it all. Absorb why you came here and why you're returning home to make a difference. Absorb the range of voices and the ideas that provoke you, as well as the ones you agree with. Take it all in by listening closely, taking good notes, and conversing with one another. Here's another point: absorb the drama of each other. You'll meet some fantastic folks here. The people who attend seminars like this aren't just anyone. They realize the worth of investing in oneself. The price tag for attending this event is high because it gives you a tremendous opportunity to engage with incredible individuals. Even those that borrowed money to be here, they knew what it took. So, don't go without meeting people. The second point is to listen to the testimonials. You may hear something in someone's tale that's as valuable as anything I'll speak from this podium. Sometimes, a statement expressed privately in someone's testimonial is equally as impactful as everything the presenter says. Take all that home with you. Next, read all the novels. I've only touched on time management here, but if you have unique challenges, maybe you operate a major corporation, there are lots of books that will help. Now, just keep alert to the things that could be stealing your time. Here's why time is just like capital. You can't allow anyone remove your seed corn. You can't allow someone to steal your cash, and you definitely can't let anyone steal your time. It's crucial that you designate your time, and some of that time should be safeguarded from interference. Casual time may be a little more flexible, but not your serious time. You can accept some minor interruptions here and there, but don't let anyone take your serious time. Now, at the beginning of each week, examine the importance of the 7th day. It serves more than one purpose. The 7th day could be for rest, but it's also a time to reflect. After 6 days of hard labor, converting thoughts and faith into reality, the 7th day provides you an opportunity to pause. Yes, the 7th day can be used for spirituality, introspection, and even worship. It could also be a moment to take a break, spend time with your family, or just change the pace. But here's a thought. Use the 7th day to assess the prior 6 days and prepare for the upcoming 6. It's a fantastic moment to reflect on what you've accomplished and be ready for what's next. Pause, take a step back, and assess where you are. I have more opinions on this, but I'll reserve them for later in this list of 5. Perhaps mid-year is a fantastic moment to reflect on how far you've come. After the first half of the year, assess the highs and lows, the obstacles and successes you've faced, whether in the stock market, your personal life, or anything else. Take the opportunity to establish a new beginning. You don't have to be the same after this weekend. You can choose to start fresh. Believe me, your days can become so exceptional that you won't even recognize them. Take in every moment. Absorb everything. The sounds, the music, the mood. My friend Bill Bailey has an astonishing gift. He doesn't miss a thing. He'll go to a destination, experience everything, and return back to tell you all about it. He's brilliant at recording every detail. The people he meets, The cuisine, the smells, the views, the noises, the colors, everything. He can paint a picture with words. He's great at both feeling and conveying it, utilizing dynamic language to capture every aspect. Here's the secret: the drama is in the details. A person informed me she'd shed 60 pounds. I responded, "Is that the whole story?" She replied, "Oh no, there's so much more to it." I appreciated the number, but what really interested me were the details. Next, one of the best time-saving tactics is to ask questions up front. How many times have you spent an hour chatting to someone just to find out that if you had asked the appropriate questions at the start, you could have saved yourself that time? By asking openly, you get to the heart of the issue right away. If you enter into a protracted debate without explaining the topic, you can spend 30 minutes or even an hour. But by asking the correct questions early, you'll be far more efficient. Now, let's speak about thinking on paper. We'll take a small break, but I want to provide a couple strategies to think on paper. We've already talked about problem solving and goal setting. Writing it down is tremendously useful. Another way is to keep a project book. For every individual you're dealing with and every project you're handling, obtain a binder with tabs and paper behind each tab. Use this binder to keep a running recap of your meetings and interactions. This project book lets you track progress and remember what was discussed last time you met. When you meet again, you may examine your notes and know precisely where you left off. When the president prepares to go and meet important individuals, guess what they gift him? All these briefing books. The last time you were with JFK, he was notified, and here's what he said. He said, "That's valuable. I need to remember that." If a person is essential, it's worth maintaining a running report. You might even have a project book for your youngsters. For example, here's what's happening between me and my child. This is what we've discussed and what we plan to discuss. Next, there's a day planner, keeping track of all your appointments. My head is flooded with reminders of when to catch a flight, attend a lecture, or have a conference, along with everything else. Then there's a game plan. If you have a house and expenses coming due, you can just put it all in a spreadsheet and ensure it's handled. The crucial phrase here is, take things out of your thoughts and put them on paper. Experiment with different strategies to help you stay organized. Now, the last thing, thinking on paper, that's keeping a journal. One thing I'm known for worldwide and have been for almost 40 years is maintaining a journal. My journal isn't just a diary, but it may have some characteristics of one. For example, while I'm flying over Ireland, I might scribble down a few things that stand out. Today, I met this incredible person, or I conducted a seminar in Rome where 1,000 people stood up and sang for me. That's a little bit of a diary, but the major aim of the diary is to collect positive ideas. Ideas about your health, your business, your future, and time management. I used to take notes on scraps of paper, torn off corners, old envelopes, and even restaurant placemats. I dump all these pieces of paper in a drawer, and it didn't serve me well. I eventually learned to acquire a bound journal and put everything in one place. If I were here, I'd be putting down notes in my journal for these 2 days. And if you're caught without your diary, just take notes and add them to your journal when you get home. Then throw the paper away. We don't generally look through paper for review. But now my journals represent a large part of my personal library. I've stored them privately for my children and grandchildren. Can you fathom what I've acquired over the years? It's incredible. There are 3 gems to leave behind, and I suppose you've already got them in your notes. Here they are, pictures. Don't leave events unrecorded. It takes just a fraction of a second to take a shot showing who you were with. When I travel the world, I take pictures And one of the things people give me is photos they took with me. These are some of the treasures I preserve on my property. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It captures emotions, experiences, and tales that make it unforgettable. Imagine what it would be like to have thousands of images of your history, your family, your relatives. Leave that legacy for your children. Your library, the books that altered your life, your health, your financial independence, your leadership, and the ones that helped you grow through bad times. These books are treasures you may pass down to others. They hold wisdom that supported you through the winters of life, encouraged you to plant in the spring and to harvest in the fall. When you leave behind your library, it's a magnificent gift that will be more valuable than your furniture.